Welcome to the Blue Attack Path. We're going to be covering the internal password spray of the Blue Attack Path. Another technique. So just a quick review from the previous technique that we did. If you're connected to the VPN, you do need to go through a jump box. The jump box is provided at IP address 192.168.169.105. And your username is team and based on your number of that team. So team 1 through team 4. And then your team password. This may change, obviously, because this is a public YouTube video. And then the port that you connect to. Also, remember with that information, you want to establish a reverse tunnel for Kali to access through your Windows 10 box. And then you want to establish a tunnel to the jump box. Then build a SOCKS proxy for proxy chains. So just a quick thing with proxy chains to review it a little bit more. You want to modify the configuration for the SOCKS proxy that is established. To modify that, you want to go into the etc proxychains4.conf file and add at the bottom of the file SOCKS4, localhost, and the port that you are proxying. Using the VPN, we chose to use 52,000. Inside the network, you'll probably have something similar mapped to your local host on Kali. Then, if you've used proxy chains without changing or uncommenting quiet mode, you'll see a lot of verbose connections showing if it was successful, especially with an Nmap scan. So make sure in your proxychains4.conf file you uncomment quiet mode so that you don't see the verbose output from proxy chains inside the tools that you're trying to use. And then just another reminder to append to the front of most of the commands that you use proxy chains, and it will execute through the SOCKS proxy. Just a tip here, if you're trying to use Firefox inside of the environment, Google how to set up Firefox to use the native SOCKS proxy. Instead of using proxy chains Firefox, you can build it inside the preferences for the SOCKS proxy. So this slide may be familiar because in the orange attack path, to gain access to QDPM, we actually built a username list. We're going to go back and use that same list, or you're welcome to create another one. Just as a reminder, there's some common structures that are used in the industry to create usernames. Those common structures involve first name.last name, first initial.last name, first name.last initial, first name underscore last name, and many others. But we'll stick with those 4 common structures that are used for usernames. And then for a password spray, we're just using common passwords. You could Google common passwords list 2021, or other common password construction techniques are listed here. For example, company name 123, company name 1 question mark, company name year, season year, or a combination of related characters on the keyboard like QWERTY 1234. And you may just capitalize the Q. These passwords are commonly used in an onboarding process of an employee, and that's the time period where you really need to test and see if there's these weaknesses that exist. Moving on to using proxy chains. At the top of this screenshot, you can see I've put proxy chains and then MSF console, and I've loaded Metasploit. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, I already have loaded Metasploit using proxy chains Metasploit, which is good. And then what I am targeting here is SMB. Probably what you would do as a precursor to this step you would run an Nmap scan on that internal network, the 192.168.1.0 network, to identify open ports. So by scanning 192.168.1.80, I found that port 445 open, which is server message block or Windows file sharing. With that open port, I want to find exploits or auxiliary modules that I can run inside of Metasploit. So I run search space SMB. I could also run a search like search MS 10 underscore 10 dash 240 for the vulnerability name. I could do search impacket. I could search on various keywords related to the name or the CVE or the exploit name being like MS1090 or whatever in my searches. So that's it for this video. Please join me back when we continue using an SMB auxiliary module called SMB login.